I just want to start this video off by letting you guys know this is probably the sixth or fifth time of me setting this phone up and saying, action, restart, cut the video off, redo the video. It's not authentic. Restart it. I don't like it. I just want to let you guys know, do not become unmotivated in the process. Before I even get into the topic at hand today, do not become unmotivated in the process for whatever you're doing, whatever you're breathing life into. Do not become unmotivated with the process. Sometimes you're gonna have to start over, and sometimes it may be from scratch. Sometimes you're gonna have to cut the video off and redo it. Don't cut it off and just say I'm not doing it for today and get agitated and just let it go. Keep going, keep trying. You're gonna face trials and tribulations. Do not give up on the journey. Do not get agitated with it and be like, I'm not doing it. Restart it. Start all over again. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to get into the topic at hand today. That leads us right into what I'm about to say. Move with intention, okay? Move with intention. Set the tone for your life. Set the tone for the day. Set the tone for your life. Set the tone for the person that you want to become. Because if not, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you your purpose. It's going to cost you being in places, being that you weren't supposed to be in. It's going to cost you your blessings. It's going to cost you everything in every place that God wants to put you in, right? Because you are literally delaying yourself on purpose. And that's all it is. Like, and to be honest, we think that sometimes, like, even when I say, okay, set the intention for your life, that may seem drastic. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't even know my purpose. I don't even know what God has in store for me. I don't even see that far yet. But what you can start from is setting the tone for your day. And with setting the tone for your day, you know, when you wake up out of bed in the morning, we're not always going straight to our phones, right? And I'm endlessly scrolling. I'm scrolling for hours. I'm scrolling on TikTok. I'm scrolling on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any type of social media platform just to get that rush of dopamine. Dopamine. Is it dopamine? Did I say it right? But just to get that rush, right? To feel some type of excitement, to feel some type of thrill, or to see what everyone else is doing in their lives. I'll say from my own personal experience, I had to delete Instagram. I did. I had to take a step back from Instagram because I felt as though I would wake up, and don't get me wrong, I would pray, but I would go straight to Instagram after and try to see everybody else's lives. And then I'll be in bed still, and it's like, okay, you have things planned for the day, but you're endlessly scrolling. And you'll think, okay, I'm only going to scroll for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll end up scrolling for hours and hours and hours, just trying to catch up on everything that's going on in the world. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. It can overcloud your brain, and it can overcloud you and make you feel overstimulated sometimes. The next thing you know, you're delaying every single thing that you said that you were going to do for that day. That's why I said, like, it takes just that much for you to get unmotivated. It takes just that much for you to not be disciplined. It takes just that much for you to lose the intention set for the things that you have planned for the day. That's why it's so important to move with intention. It's so important when you wake up out of bed in the morning, when God has blessed you with another day, you remove the sense of entitlement. Like, oh, I can just do it next Monday. I can just do it next Wednesday. You know how y'all be. Even myself sometimes, like, I could push it off next month. No, do it that day. Because that's what's going to build those habits up for the month, build those habits up leading to the year. That's those baby habits that you're doing each and every day. That's what's leading to your future. You get what I'm saying? It's not, oh, in the future I'll do this and blah, blah, blah. If you're not doing it now, 9 times out of 10, you won't do it in the future because you won't have the discipline to do it. So set the intention for your day. When you wake up in the morning, try to get away from the endless scrolling. And if you feel like a social media platform is taking if it's taking a toll on you, if you feel like, okay, because my personal experience with like Instagram, I felt as though like I felt behind because I'm watching everybody else's lives, and then it makes me feel like, well, let me hurry up and try to do. No, I do want to give you some encouragement on that as well, to let you know that to just breathe. And as long as you have intention, as long as you keep praying and going to God and asking God to lead you, guide you, and mold you into the person that He wants you to be, those things that happen for you. And I say that specifically because if God is leading you, right? He's leading you in the path you should go down. If He's guiding you, He's giving you the pointers. He's giving you and showing you the signs and the things that you need to do. That's why we got to take heed and listen to the things that God is telling us to do to move in your purpose, right? And if He's molding you into the person that you need to become. But we also have to do our end and show up. And that starts by how you set your tone for the day. So like I said, when you wake up out of bed in the morning, if you say like, okay, I have to go to work, I want to try to make me breakfast, I don't want to eat out, I want to save money, right? And then when I come home from work, I wanted to work out and make myself dinner. I know that sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, it's very important to stay disciplined to the things that you said you were going to do, because we got to understand something. Before other people can lie to us and manipulate us or try to, be untrustworthy, right? You got to understand something. Are you doing that to yourself? Are you not showing up in a way that you said that you will for yourself? We are our own biggest advocates in this world, right? Other than God, we are our own biggest advocates. So with that being said, you have to literally speak life into yourself. You have to be the one to be your biggest motivator. You got to be the one to even tell yourself when you get out in the morning sometimes, listen, if I don't got nobody else around me that's feeding positive energy and telling me like, hey, you are a beast, you are going to attack the day, you got to instill that in yourself. You got to know that. And with that, you have to practice so much discipline. So when you, like I said, if you plan something for today, make sure you're doing those things, you're tackling those things. Stop pushing it off to next week. Stop pushing it off to next Monday, because God didn't even say that you was going to live to see those days. We have to literally live in the now. And that takes away so much anxiety. That takes away so much depression, because we're not focusing so much on what will happen in the future or what, because that's all those things come from. Anxiety and depression. We're worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. We're worrying about things that we're not even presented with the things that we're overthinking about, right? So literally learn to calm down, live in the present, and literally tackle every single thing that you said you were going to do. And stop delaying the process. The longer you delay the process, the longer you are delaying the results. I remember the time I said I wanted to become more disciplined with working out, and I didn't have access to get a gym membership at the time. I literally made it my business to wake up every day, and whether that's going into the neighborhood and just going for a jog around the neighborhood, or going to the front area of my neighborhood where there's lots of grass area, right? And lots of area for me to work out, making time for myself to work out, making time for me to put in for not only my physical health, but fitness helps towards your mental health. So making time for that, making time each and every day, whether it's even in my room and I'm doing cardio and I'm using my weights at home. You don't have to wait until things get better to be better. I know a lot of times we may seem clouded because of situations. So we feel as though, oh no, when God moves me here, or when God presents me with this, then I'll do this. Sometimes we have everything what we need and we are not using these things, and we're just waiting until things get better. No, you got to act on what you got. You got to use what you have right now. And I deeply expressed that in my last video. You can go back and watch it if you didn't. Like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, I'm always open to hear other people's opinions and different things that they have towards my videos, and even your insight about your own personal experiences. But it's just like, you just gotta lock in. It's time to lock in. It's time to lock in. And like I said, the tone for your life starts by the tone of the day. And wow, that just came to my mind. But yeah, the tone of your life starts by how you set the tone of your day, how you wake up in that morning, right? If you wake up, okay, every day, oh, this is gonna be a bad day. Oh, nah, I don't feel like doing it no more. This, and that. That may bleed into the next day. And I know sometimes we may be thinking, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna have better energy. You may wake up still with the previous energy of yesterday. And you never know what's gonna go on in a full executive 24 hours to where it may cause different stuff to happen. That's why we have to literally stay so disciplined to the goals that we have set for ourselves. It will literally save your life. But yeah, the tone for the day sets the tone for your life, so stay disciplined. So if you even have, like, I have a chalkboard, right? Well, not a chalkboard, a dry erase board in my room. And in my room, what I used to do is just write down everything I wanted to execute for the day. That's one of the biggest things that helped me as well with setting intention for my day, is writing down the things that you want to make happen. If you're a person that's like, okay, I just have it locked in my head and these are the things that I want to do, and you're disciplined enough to wake up out of your bed and make it happen, then hey, do that. But another way that you can really do that is writing down the things that you really just want to tackle. So if it's like I said, if you want to work out at 3, write it down and put a little box next to it and check it off as you go by and do those things. If it's say, okay, I want to meal prep, write it down. We are more prone, and it's proven, we are more prone to get things done if it's in our face, if we write it down, if we're journaling it, and if we're, if it's literally in front of our faces, we're more prone to make it happen. And I know that worked for me. You know, that is something that you could try for yourself to even see if it works for you. But most of the time it does. Like just writing it down and just executing those things, man. Stop literally procrastinating and saying, oh, I'm gonna do this. No, just write it down and check it off as you go. 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 And I'm telling you, towards the end of the day, you look back and you realize, hey, I completed everything I said I was going to do. It'll make you happy for the most part. You know, it'll make you eager to want to get up the next day and say, you know what, let me make a whole nother list. Let me see what else I can do. Then, you know, you'll start becoming addicted to literally executing your day. You'll start becoming addicted to doing the things that you said you were going to do. So just make it happen for yourself, because if you visualize, just take a moment to visualize your highest self and the person that you see yourself walking into for the next season and for the future seasons of your life. You will understand how important it is to move with intention. You will understand how important it is to wake up and set the tone. You'll just understand. You will know that, hey, I owe this to myself, because if not, I will keep going through the same things. I will keep experiencing the same things in life. And I know somebody on this video may be feeling at a place right now where they may feel mentally or physically stuck. To get unstuck out of any situation in life, you literally have to move with intention, because when you move with intention, it's moving with purpose. It's moving with the intent of, you know what? I want better for myself and I'm going to make it happen. I'm not just going to sit and talk, because that's a lot of times what all we doing is just sitting and talking. We're not doing nothing. Like even with this podcast, I started having feelings of not wanting to post my videos. I started having feelings of like, why would people want to sit down and listen to me? You know, even with people telling me in the past, like, hey, podcast is already oversaturated. A lot of people are making podcasts. It takes a lot to build it. I could have let all of that got into my ear. But when God is calling you to do something, it is important, baby, to step out on faith. It is important to step out on faith. God is not obligated to fund or support anything that he didn't call you to do. But the things that God is calling you to do, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You need to do those things. You need to act on those things regardless of who said what. Because at the end of the day, you're not living for them. You're not living for them. You have a purpose inside of you that has to be ignited. So it starts with you. You can't sit around and say, oh, who's going to motivate it? Who's going to support it? No, you got to support yourself. You got to set that phone up. You got to do those things that God is calling you to do. If God is calling you to open up a business, open up that business. I know a lot of times, you know, and like I said, I work with business owners for 3 years. So I have insight on that as well. You know, a lot of times people say, oh, I need money to start the business. You don't need a lot of money to start your business. I started a graphic design business off my cell phone, literally off my cell phone, me making graphics off Canva before I even advanced to Photoshop. And I still have many clients. So it's not about what you don't have. It's about what you do have, baby. And use what you have to get yourself to the next level. Stop looking around and seeing what you don't have. Stop looking around and being miserable about your situation and do something about it. The tone for your life starts by the tone of your day. But yes, like I said, write down the things that you want to execute for your day. It will literally save you. It will literally save you. Another thing I will say about being intentional will be like the whole 3 corners about being intentional with your life. Being intentional about your friendships. Being intentional about the people that you have around you. Because when we are not intentional about the people that we have around us, you will get so caught up. And you literally, in the Bible, it says bad company corrupts good character. And I have been shown that on so many occasions, that when you hang around people that you know, they just don't feel right. It don't feel right. It just like when you're around them, the vibe does not feel right. You feel like they still doing the same stuff. They don't want better for themselves. They're not trying. That's the biggest thing, because none of us are perfect. But when you are not trying, you are literally stagnant to who you are. You're stagnant to not becoming better. And baby, that's not your responsibility. And definitely when you are on a journey of becoming better, you have to be around people who want better. It is what it is. Whether that's family or whether that's friends, we can't differentiate because, oh, that's my mom or that's my aunt, but they don't want better for themselves. They just sitting around wasting time all day. They're revolving their time around and their day around what everybody else wants. That means that they don't value themselves as a person. Anybody that values themselves as a person, they're intentional. Not only are they intentional, they're intentional the full 360, because they understand how important it is. Because like I said, when you're not intentional about the people that you're around, you have any type of friends. So you'll just be around the friends that just want to go out and party all the time. They want to go out and drink and smoke all the time. But when you look around, you don't got nobody to pray for you. You ain't got nobody to pray for you. You don't have no friends to speak life into you. You have nobody to literally go to God about. because they don't even know how to go to God. They don't even have a relationship with God, or they're not even trying to have a relationship with God. And you will find yourself like outgrowing these people. And that feeling of outgrowing a friendship, it feels like heartbreak, but at the same time, you have to understand, like, a lot of times we're moving in different seasons, and some people are moving slower in their seasons. And I hate to say it, as much as you love them, you can't sit around and keep trying to, hey, let's do this. If they're not interested, if they're not interested in getting closer to God, if they're not interested to getting fit, and they just want to keep overeating, they love being unhealthy, they love having unhealthy conversations, you got to learn to let them go, because what that will do is delay you from being the person that you want to become. And it's proven. I know a lot of times we want to be ride or die, like, friend, yeah, we ride or die, we this, we that. That will literally keep you in the same sunken hole for the rest of your life if you keep being around friendships that who don't have any value, like women who don't care about, women or men, you get what I'm saying, who don't care about holding themselves to a higher standard, people who are not caring about their mental health, people who are not making changes about their physical health, people who are not willing to do the change to become better. You got to get away from them, because they are in a place that you are not responsible of bringing them out of. It's not your responsibility of bringing them out of their trauma. It's not your responsibility of bringing them out of their sunken deep place, but it is your responsibility to show up in your own life in the way that you should. And that even goes deeper with family relationships, being intentional about your family relationships. I know a lot of times, like I said, we think like love, oh, I love them so much, so I can't tell them the truth. I love them so much, so I can't really do this because it'll hurt their feelings. I love them so much, so I can't cut my, I love this person so much, so I can't cut off my toxic mom or dad or my auntie because I just love them so much. You have to understand that the Bible does say forgive, but at the end of the day, when you are trying to grow as a person, like I said, you can't keep being around dead energy, because it will poison your own garden. It will poison you. It will poison your mind. You will start thinking differently. You will, like, even too, like, your perspectives on different things will be negative. Your connotations will always be negative. And sometimes we can have a lot of negative and draining people in our family, and they just don't speak life into you. They always bring you down. They don't make you feel worthy, and you are worth more than that. We got to understand to draw the line at some point, to where it's like, you know what? You're not good for me. You're not good for me. And deep down, God gave us these intuitions to be able to, God gave us these intuitions to be able to understand when things are not right. Like, so it's very important to understand when people are not good for you in your season, they're not good for you in your life, that we learn to let them go. And letting them go will provide you so much peace. It's not saying that, hey, I don't love you, but you're not good for me. You're not good for me. You put me down. You don't make me feel good as a person. You don't uplift me. And baby, you deserve that. You deserve people that uplift you. You deserve people in your life that feeds life into you, because life is too precious to waste it around people who don't. If you understood how many people are dying and losing their lives each and every day, you will understand how important it is to value yours and to value the company that you keep, whether that's family, whether that's friends, because we don't deserve just to put up with people just because we're in the same bloodline. We may be in the same bloodline, but the respect is not the same. You don't value me. You don't even look at me as a person. You are looking at me as a person that you once seen once before. I'm not that person anymore. And you have to get to the point to where you unlearn these things with these people so that you can grow. And if it takes you having to, you know what, I got to remove myself away from you. I got to be away from you, because every time I'm around you, it's draining. It's making me be a person I don't want to be. And for the sake of your own mental health, remove yourself. Remove yourself. If you're in a place right now, if you feel as though you feel stuck and it's like, I'm living with these people, I can't get away from them right now, start being intentional with your life. Start being intentional with how you wake up. Set the tone for the day. It'll set the tone for your life, so that you can start planning different things so that you can get away from these energies, because a lot of people are not even committed to changing. They're too stuck in their ways, and it's not your responsibility to change anybody but yourself. So with that being said, start planning different things. Be intentional about how you show up. Start going to work, pulling in extra hours so that you can change different things about yourself. If you're trying to be an entrepreneur, wake up with the intent like, hey, you know what? I'm going to start that business day. I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm going to set my phone. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's really the truth. I'm going to do everything that I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do everything that I was going to, even if that's in the baby steps of each and every day, I'm going to do something towards my purpose each and every day so that I can change my life and get away from the toxic energy. Another thing I'll say is about being intentional about where you show up at, being intentional about the places that you are involving yourself in. If you know that you have outgrown different spaces, if you feel as though, okay, this is where when I go here, I don't feel my best self. I don't feel as though I'm showing up in a place that God has presented me, right? I feel as though this is disrespecting who I'm becoming. I feel ashamed in these spaces. Stop showing up there. You are not obligated to be loyal to the things that are literally damaging you. You are not obligated to be loyal to the things and the people that are literally causing you to feel bad. You are not obligated to be loyal to the things that are not loyal to you. The things that are not even causing you or helping you become a better person. You're not obligated to be loyal to these things. And I know a lot of times we have literally, because all it is, we have literally idolized so much things and so many people to the point to where it's like, we feel as though we have to serve some type of loyalty to them because, oh, I've known them for so long. Oh, I've always been doing this. It's okay to outgrow, baby. It's okay to say, you know what? This does not resonate with me no more. I don't want to go to the club anymore. Oh, well, you're not acting the same. This is not the person I met before. Oh, well, I have outgrown. I have expanded. I have changed my mindset. I don't want to be there. And you cannot unlock new things going through the same old door. You can't unlock new things going to the same old door. It just does not work. Even in the Bible, it even states that you cannot do miracles in your hometown. But you know what you can do? Add extra habits so that you can get out of your hometown. Start doing different things to implement that. If you want to do great things, it starts with the habit of your day. So even too, if it's like, hey, I'm changing how I'm showing up on the weekends, like with the places I go. If I don't want to go to the clubs no more, I stop showing up. I stop dressing so provocative so that I can be at these places, because at the end of the day, all of those places are literally attached to an old part of me. I'm being intentional about where I'm showing up. I'm being intentional about where my face is on the scene. Definitely if you have a huge platform. If you have any type of platform, whether you have, it don't even have to be huge. Let me rephrase that. If you have any type of platform to where it's like you are showing up as a respectful or a respected individual amongst the society, right? You need to understand the value of your presence. You need to understand that you should not be any and everywhere. Like, that's just like the mayor being in a club on the weekends. Nobody would be able to take that person seriously. And it's not even about not having a life, but there's other ways to enjoy life than being outside of a club. There's other ways to be enjoying life than sitting up smoking every weekend with people who are just trying to escape their reality. There's other ways to enjoy life, to just sitting up, going and getting drunk with my friends and just sitting on the couch and not even talking about things that hold substance. There's other ways of enjoying life. We just stop it at the unhealthy ways. We just stop it at the ways that's attached to our old self, because what's attached to our old self is the old people we used to hang up with. It's not your responsibility to show up in that way. You can wake up any day and say, you know what, that's it. I'm tired of entertaining this. I'm tired of entertaining that. I want better. I'm around people that pour into me. I'm around people who want to do healthier things. There's ways of enjoying your life without just literally being in places to where we're just literally filling voids, right? There's ways of doing things. Like, even too, I've learned as a woman, if I want more feminine and women that are feminine women around me that are getting closer to God. That's it. No shortcuts, no nothing. We are literally dedicated with walking with the Lord. So with walking with the Lord, we're finding different ways to connect with each other on a healthy matter. So it's just like, okay, we're going to picnics. We're doing different things. There's so many things that you can do to where it secludes, like not getting high and drinking and just being in a club and being in a lounge and just gossiping all the time. There's healthy ways of connecting with your friendships. And it's time to lock into those things, right? Another thing as well is to be intentional about what you wear. How you present yourself is everything. A lot of times people think that that does not hold any substance, but how you present yourself is everything. Like, when you walk into a room, people are already, I'm not saying that we should care about the opinions of others, but you should care about yourself enough to see to care about how you present it. Definitely as a woman, I've learned, to not show so much when you're out. Stop trying to show your breasts. Stop trying to show the shape of your butt. Stop trying to show the print of your womb. There is a problem with that. And a lot of times we just kind of skip over that because it's just like, this is just me. This is just what I like. But as a woman of God, right? Not saying that I don't fall short, but as a woman that is getting closer to Christ, I've literally learned that your body is so sacred, and we should not literally be trying to expose everything for male validation or male attention, because that's all it's for. That's all people are doing it for. And sometimes people say, oh, I just want to look good. You can look good without having to show everything. You can look good without having to look so downplayed, because a lot of times as a woman, I learned that when you are literally showing every single part of your body, you're showing your breasts, you're showing your butt, you're showing everything just has to be showing just for you to feel beautiful. I learned that that is a way of making yourself look cheap. And what it is, that's the perception of other people. It makes yourself look really cheap. It makes it look like you don't value yourself, because if you value yourself, you will understand how important it is not to show every single thing and have every single thing on display for the male's eye or for the male's attention or just for anyone's attention. And it's nothing wrong, because at the end of the day, you can still be sexy and still be modest. You can still be sexy and still be covered. And I'm not saying that you got to wear turtleneck up to here, long granny skirt. I'm not saying that, but you don't have to show every single thing every single time you step outside of the house. You know, one of the biggest things I learned from my own perspective is that, how does God view me? You know, it's very important to always go back to that, even if you are a man or a woman. How does God view me? If you understood how God views you and how sacred God looks at you and how precious God looks at you, you will understand that God doesn't want me to show my body off like that. He's disappointed when he sees these things, because at the end of the day, it's moreover like, you know, how do I love? If I love myself, why am I willing to show the most sacred things about me towards anyone else? And even like I said, as becoming a better woman and becoming more spiritually aligned, and besides from that, just being a woman that has integrity and that just wants to practice integrity, right? How I wake, like, you know, like if I want to start dressing up, right? If I want to wear my dresses, I want to wear my heels, right? I want to look professional. I want to wear like my blouse and my nice, you get what I'm saying? Slack pants or whatever it is. I'm going to do that. I'm not waiting until the best function to do that. I'm not waiting until a girl's night out or a vacation to feel as though I need to dress my best. No, if I want to wear my heels and I want to wear my nice long dress, I want to wear my nice earrings, do my hair a certain way, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not saving my best outfits for my best events. It's being intentional about what I wear, being intentional about how I show up. Because if I see myself a certain type of way, I should dress that certain type of way. I don't have to wait until 7 years from now. It starts in the midst of your day. Those habits start each and every day. Like, you know, if I want to get dressed up and just look elegant, that's what I want to do. Like today, I felt like wearing my nice silk pajamas because I'm on a chill vibe. And I was committed and intentional of making this video. So that's what I did. And I still feel beautiful. So it's just like at the end of the day, I feel as though if you have to be intentional about what you wear as well, because I'm telling you, when you go out into the real world, I hate to say it to you, but you are being judged by what you wear. And it's not even about caring about what other people think of you, right? It's not even about that. But you should care enough about how you present yourself. Definitely too, a lot of times people are mothers. You should care about how you're presented, because you have a lineage. You have children, so your children are looking up to you, whether you believe it or not. They're seeing what mommy's wearing. If you are a father, your sons are seeing how you carrying yourself. And a lot of times, even too, children pick up on tactics earlier. So they seeing, okay, I'm seeing mom wearing her boobs out all the time and these small little mini skirts, and that when she bend over, her butt all out and this and this and this and that. Okay, I'm gonna think that's how I should dress, because that's how I see my mom dress. Not all the time, but most of the time that's what happens. Even too with little boys. Okay, I'm seeing my dad sag his pants. I'm seeing that he never wears tucks. So I think this is the way that I should dress. I think this is the way that I should carry myself. And we have to learn to be more intentional about that, because it's not even about us. Like, people are watching. And, you know, sometimes that can delay you getting a professional high-ranked job because you're not caring about how you present yourself. Sometimes that can show up in a way of, like, even anything, opportunities. You never know who's out there. When you step outside your front door and you go out into the real world, you never know who you may meet. The person that you may be connected to may be attached to your next blessing, may be attached to the next opportunity, but you just missed it because you just like a scallywag. That's why we have to be very intentional about how we dress, how we show up, and just who we are, man. We have to be intentional about these habits. And I know it seems like a lot, but it's possible. It starts in the baby steps. If there's different things, you know what you want to change about yourself most of the time. So if there's certain things that you want to change about yourself, you can show up, start implementing those habits. It starts in the habits of your day. It starts in the habits of your day, right? Starts in the habits of your day. I wanted to, and that's leading right into my next thing. I wanted to change habits about myself. I wanted to become more, I wanted to become, what's the word I'm looking for? I wanted to become more strong with my prayers. I wanted my prayers to be more lengthy. I wanted my prayers to have more, more life. I just wanted them to literally be more. You get what I'm saying? When I'm talking to God, I wanted it to feel like a real deep personal conversation with the Lord, as if the Lord was sitting right next to me and I was crying out. I wanted it to be really lengthy. I wanted it to be more, I just wanted it to be more powerful, right? One of the biggest things that I had to learn was God sent me an experience. God sent me experiences that I had to go through so that it made me cry out more. And I just started praying more. That was the biggest thing. I started praying more, and through praying more, my prayers strengthened. You know, they became more lengthier because I didn't want it to just say, God, thank you for waking me up. Bye. Amen. Right? And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with those prayers, but me personally, I wanted more lengthy prayers. I wanted to feel as though I was on the phone with God. Like we were having deep conversations. And I just started praying more. I started praying each and every day. I started praying. And you know what? Another thing I started doing, I stopped just focusing on praying when I'm by my bed. Like I pray in the shower. I'm praying in the car. I'm praying in different places. I'm praying everywhere. You get what I'm saying? So it strengthened my prayers. It made my prayers more lengthy. It made my prayers be more faithful, you know. So those are some things that I just kind of did as well. You know, even too, like habits I implemented is just like eating healthier, choosing healthier eating options. I used to be vegan. I'm not vegan no more. But I just started choosing healthier eating options, as in like being careful about what I'm eating. Even like that, being intentional about what I eat, you know, because a lot of times the diseases that we have and we are enduring are simply because we're not eating right. And it all starts by what you're putting into your body. You know, being intentional about what I'm putting into my body, being intentional about that. We have to be intentional about everything. It's so important. But like I said, yeah, being intentional about the food, you know, that I'm eating, making sure I'm eating my fruits, my vegetables, you know, making sure I'm getting enough fiber, enough water. I was not drinking enough water. Make sure y'all are really caring about your health, because the worst case scenario is to be hit with a health scare that money can't even fix. I seen something where it said, y'all think the real problems is things that is being broke, but the real problem is being in a situation that money can't even fix. And that's with health, you know. So be very, 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 very intentional about the foods that you're putting into your body, because if it don't catch up with you now, it's gonna catch up with you soon. So, you know, be very intentional about that. And last but not least, I'm going to say, be very intentional about the people that you are dating, or even too, like if you're in a relationship, be very intentional about your partner. And I want to lead with positivity on this note to let you know that be very intentional about them, you know, like with building a life, whether you're like, make sure you're praying for them, you know, like go to God about the people that you love, you know, be very intentional about adding to their happiness. Be very intentional about, you know, just loving on them, you know, because you never know what people are personally going through inside of their own heads. You never know how hard a person's day can really be. Be very intentional about loving your partner, because when you are even to dating, you know, and you are probably just, let's just say even to in a relationship, you are literally combining your life with this person. You're literally adding your life to this person. They're literally adding their life and their habits to yours. And it's very intentional about loving this person, because guess what? A lot of times your lover can be a reflection of you. And that's just that. So bitch, just be very intentional about that. Be very intentional about, like, as a woman, I'll say even to the women watching this, about the people that you sleep with. You know, like, be very intentional about that. I've learned, like, if it's not even your husband, you should even give your body to them. Like, our bodies are so sacred. Be very intentional about who you lay down with. You have to be very intentional about that, because if not, all that would do is lead to turmoil, heartbreak, and so many things that you could have avoided if you were intentional. So be very intentional about the people that you're dating. Some people are wasting time. Some people are just literally dating for an ego boost. So it's very important to be strong in your discernment so you can be able to spot these things out. But be very intentional about the person that you're dating, because when you are intentional about the person that you're dating, I'm telling you, it will save you from so much heartbreak. It's coming from somebody who was at a space one time where they weren't intentional about the people they were dating. You know, and when you are a person of value and you understand your worth, you understand your value, you will be very intentional about who you surround yourself by. I'm telling you. Because that can literally, the people that you're around can literally cripple your future, or they can literally add life to it and literally help you get to exactly the destiny where God is calling you, man. And I'm telling you, I've learned that, because when you're around people who don't want better, when you're around people like, and that's all three corners: family, friends, dating, relationships, friendships, all of that. When you're around people who don't carry themselves to a higher caliber, or people who just don't want to do better, you're going to keep going through the same loopholes. And I know sometimes we think, oh, we know what's best for us. So it's like, no, I know this person, I love them so much. No, people don't change on your time. They just don't. They don't change on the time frame that you want. And even too, if it's like you've outgrown, it's like, okay, I really want you to grow with me. They're not going to change on the time frame that you want them to. And a lot of people may not even be open to it. Your only responsibility is yourself. That's why it's important to meet people where you are already at, or if they're not at the same level that you are in that space, right? They're open-minded. I'm not closed-minded to that. Teach me more. Let me know more. I want to be insightful. I want to learn, help me understand. How did that help you? That's why it's important to date and have these conversations. Not even just dating with a romantic partner, dating your friends, like going on these dates, getting to know, like, okay, what's going on? Like, why do you keep bringing this up? Why do we keep gossiping? What's really affecting you? Okay, are you open to becoming a better person? Are you open to going to the gym if you are overweight? These are conversations to really have with people that we are just dismissing a lot of times because we love them and all the potential. Listen, all that potential stuff of people will meet you. Got to meet people right where they are in their lives, not where I visually see you in the future, because you're not God. Whenever we start trying to be with people in our lives and it's like, oh, I see the potential of him being a husband or whatever the case may be, and the red flags could be swimming in front of your face, and you talking about I see the potential of him being a husband. We got to see exactly what we are presented with. That's all you can go by. You can't try to look into the future or even try to dig too much in the past of this person. Where we are in the present. You get what I'm saying? Focus on that. I think a lot of times that's when anxiety and all of this tension happens, because we're trying to progress all the way out here or trying to dig deep into who this person was 10 years ago. No, where are we now? So we can focus on how to move forward. That's the more mature way to go about it in any type of relationship with anyone. To not look over the top, but look where we are. What are we presented with? And understand, this is how we can move forward. But yes, be intentional, you guys. Be intentional with you guys. I hope you guys were able to grab some gems from this video. If you really like these conversations, if you really like, these videos, feel free to drop in the comments your insight. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, I cannot sing worth nothing. But feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys tune in for more episodes.